Hi, everybody. Sarah Zalecki. Happy Thursday. How are you guys? I am totally stoked to be talking to you guys tonight. We are going to get a chance to hang out tonight. And for all of you that are in network marketing, hello. For all of you that aren't, this is going to be a great live for you guys to jump on. And hi, replayers. I know a lot of you guys will be replaying later on tonight. And I know that my girl is jumping on, so let me add her. Okay, hold on a second. Let's see how this is working. Hi, everybody. It says connecting. Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great. I can't believe Sarah, I can't even tell you. Sometimes I'm not able to figure this stuff out. So, and
I know. Oh my God. Well, you look great, first of all. So
wow.
that's all
Are
that
you
matters. You know what I'm saying?
are
Like,
you in Vegas right now?
What?
Where are you, at home or in Vegas
I
right
am
now?
at home. Yes, I know. Do
Nice.
I look nice? Because I felt guilty. You said, I saw you do a post and you said you washed your hair. And I was like, oh my God, I
I
better wash
did.
my hair too. So
I
I washed
did.
it for everybody. So hey guys, I am super stoked, guys. We a lot of you guys know, I started doing Thursday night lives and getting a chance to bring other people on, people that I totally love inside the profession of network marketing, and we get a chance to rap and hang out and talk. And I'm super pumped about this live because it's so cool. First of all, if you guys do not know Pamela Barnum, you've got to follow her. She's awesome. I've got some cool things I'm going to share with you about her. But here's what's so cool. We actually met. I was trying to figure out how long ago we met. We actually met right after my son Hudson, I think, was born.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And my son's 6.5. So it's probably like 6 years ago we had a chance to meet.
Holy smokes.
I know, it's so crazy. And I'll never forget, like, when I first met Pamela, guys, it's so funny because we kind of have a laughing, a running joke. But when I first met Pamela, she was wearing, like, I totally, first of all, I had like leg envy because like her legs are like twice as long as mine.
Yeah.
And anybody else that I'm talking about, like any short girl problems, like drop me a one. That was me. I met her. I was like, oh my God, who is this chick? And then second of all, not only did she have legs like that went mild, but she was wearing leather pants. And she looked freaking great and could pull it off. And I was like, oh my God, this is like my greatest dream ever. Just to be able to do that. But you know, maybe in another life, I'll be able to do that. But
Sarah,
what?
you can dance. You can dance, and I can't dance. If you recall that time we were
Right.
at Sonia's and the music came on, and I'm like, I can't dance, and you said everyone can dance, and then you're like, you're right, you actually can't dance. So.
Remind me that you and Tony never danced together. That probably would not be a good idea. Um, but hey, you guys know how to make money. You know how to build great friendships. You know how to be great parents. So I mean,
There you
and
go.
that's the only thing that you guys can't do. Well, I mean,
Ah,
right?
ah.
So, well, guys, here's what's really cool. So fast forward 6 years. So Pam and I, we connected big time and became great friends. And I loved her sense of humor. I loved that she was, you know, like when I had a chance to hear about her background, I thought it was so interesting because her background is so serious. And then I meet her and she's so like not serious, like in a great way, like just great humor, really quick witted. I was like, oh my God, like I love this girl. And then she just started sharing like so much about her story, which you guys are going to get a chance to hear tonight, which is so good. It's like one of those stories that you're like, wow, this is so crazy. And but also too is that, guys, we also want to talk about, you know, just kind of the myth inside of, you know, people looking at network marketing. You know, just sometimes people are like, is this the real deal? Like, is this a scam? Can people actually really make money? Is this like a legit business model, right? And so, you know, so Pamela, for those of you that don't know, and I'm not going to steal her thunder, I'll let her share a story. But I mean, guys, it's crazy. She was like, like former undercover cop, right? And federal prosecutor, probably like skeptical upon skeptical upon skeptical, right? Just with anything and everyone. And then falls in love with this amazing business, right? And obviously her and her husband, Kevin, they built a wildly successful business at the company that they're at. And, you know, they travel the world and just, you know, just, she has a lot of the same heart that I do as far as just, just moms and just empowering women and just all that awesome stuff. But I thought, man, what a great live we could actually do together and talk back and forth, right? Where we could have this real conversation about, instead of everyone kind of whispering about it, let's just talk about it. Like, let's talk about the elephant in front of the room, right, Pam, that so many people don't always talk about. But I think for you, I love that you're also a factual person. So there's a lot of stuff that, we're going to get a chance to share with people that's just going to build belief in either A, hey, you're in network marketing, keep going, or B, you kind of looked at it, but you were a little bit unsure. You're going to be ready to get going after this live, right? So Pam, what I want to do, if you're cool with, I actually want to turn it over to you. I'd love for you to share a little bit about your story, and let's kind of talk about this whole thing of network marketing, and just, I know you've got some really good nuggets that we can give these guys that will help them just understand on just what solid ground they're on when it comes to this network marketing business, right?
Well, Sarah, I'm so grateful to be here with you and to have met you and Tony, because in my former careers, like you mentioned, I didn't meet a lot of people like you and Tony and all of the amazing people that you've attracted to your business and who are friends on social media and follow and do all of that. Those weren't who I was hanging out with. And you mentioned I was an undercover police officer, and I worked in the drug unit for almost 9 years. So, and when I say working undercover, it wasn't like you just wore jeans to work. I actually lived with a different name in a different place as a different person. So it was that kind of undercover,
like
24/7.
Like a movie.
Well, but not as glamorous or fun, because, a lot of days it was just mundane. You're going to the same bars, to meet the same people, to hear the same jokes, to buy the same drugs over and over and over again. So it was definitely had its moments, and I could tell you lots of fun stories, but they're way better over a glass of wine or a beer for sure, and maybe not so appropriate for this venue. But it was a lot of fun. I actually met my husband, Kevin, working undercover. So we were both undercover police officers. We'd never met each other. We were assigned to live as husband and wife for 10 months in this apartment and, pretend like we had been together a long time. So that, we had this government prearranged marriage, and, within a certain amount of time, as we're working together, we get to know each other. One thing leads to another. Kevin tells the joke all the time, undercover went under the covers, and he does this whole thing. It's never funny.
Oh my God.
When he tells, he thinks he's so funny. So he loves that joke. Even our son can tell that joke now. He's 14. So, we meet, and then becoming a mom, and I know you're so passionate about that, Sarah, that buying crack for a living is not a mom-friendly job. So I couldn't do that anymore. I have my son. Then I finished law school and thought, well, I might as well put that to use. So I took a job at the prosecutor's office. So you guys would call them district attorneys. We call them crown attorneys in Canada. So that's what I did for a living. Much more mom-friendly, but 60 hours a week outside of the home. I was paying somebody else to be my son's mom. No fun. I loved my job. I had a great career, and it's really cool when people call you Madam Federal Crown when you walk in the room, and it's all that and a bag of chips, right? But you're not seeing your family. And my husband left the drug unit as well and became a canine handler. So he was, out looking for bombs and dead bodies and people all the time, and wasn't home a lot either. So one day we created this life that was supposed to be amazing, and it was. And we both had, six-figure salaries with benefits and pension plans and all of that, great careers. And then one day, like most of you, we have a neighbor who's, using some products, tells us about it, and I'm thinking, I don't even know what that is. And she said, oh, by the way, it's network marketing. And the way she said it, it was like she was going to drop off some bootleg liquor or porn or something later at our place, right? She was very on the down low. And I said to Kevin, what is this network marketing? He said, oh, we don't want anything to do with that. They're going to fill our garage with products. They'll put flip charts in our living room. We'll have no friends left. We are not doing that. And I thought, Jesus, she didn't mention any of that. She just said, it's these great products. So I thought, well, I'm going to give it a go. She's a good person. I trust her. She's my neighbor. And Sarah, it's like probably 90% of the stories that you hear, people get started for products or services that they like. They tell other people about them. They recognize that there's the possibility of a business opportunity. And most people stay as great customers, and they want to be, and those are amazing people. That's the majority of everyone's business. And then there are a few people who say, you know what? I think I could do this. I get this. And that's what we did when we saw, regular people, school teachers, moms, chiropractors, all sorts of people from every walk of life, young and old, getting up, sharing stories about getting products paid for, or making a credit card payment, or making a car payment, or being able to pay for their kids' sports. I thought, holy smokes, we could do this. And so Kevin and I put our minds to it. We started following people who had gone before us, not just in our company, but in this amazing industry of network marketing. There are so many fabulous leaders who are willing to share what they learned, whether or not you're in their company or use their products. They don't care. They just try to elevate the profession so that everybody has a fair shot. And I'd never been in a profession like that before, where people wanted to be more cooperative than competitive. It seemed there must be something wrong. These people are drinking some weird Kool-Aid. It took a while before I actually, got in. It wasn't just using products and all of a sudden realizing there's a business, and overnight I made this shift. Because being a lawyer, I wanted to research everything. I was so skeptical. I thought, sure, they're making some money, but there's got to be some glitch here, and this is in the beginning. So I started researching, and then my nickname around the courthouse, because I'd helped a few people around the courthouse get started with products, so they started calling me Pyramid Pam. Not
No
they called
way.
me Madam. Yeah, I was Madam Crowned in my face, but behind my back, I was Pyramid Pam. And I thought, geez, what, maybe I missed something here. So I would spend lunch hours in the law library researching case law and statutes around network marketing. Now, in Canada, there's not as big a body of litigation and legislation as there is in the United States, which is where my frame of reference was, because most companies originate in the US, and my company was as well. So I wanted to look at the laws there in addition to the laws in Canada. And then I started looking at Australia and parts of Europe to form sort of an opinion about what this really was. What was network marketing? Was it this pyramid scheme, this Ponzi scheme that people were talking about, or was it a legitimate business model? And how do regular people who don't have law degrees figure that out? So that's what I became very passionate about.
I love it. Well, I'm going to do a plug for you, because I love to plug my friends. So guys, it's so cool because, a lot of her friends, she's going to talk a little bit more about just kind of like, just helping kind of arm you guys with some just really good bullet points and just the truth, right, of our business, and just how the business model is so unique and just the real deal, right? But before we do, so Pam so graciously sent this to me right when it came out. This is a really awesome book, I'm telling you. Pam's probably dying right now because Pam's not like this. She's like, Sarah, why are you doing this? I'm doing it because it's a great book, okay? So for those of you that have friends, that have family that are like, oh, I need all the facts, I want the deal about this. Well, this is so cool. This is actually a book that she wrote, and it's called The Lawyer's Case for Network Marketing, right? So awesome book. So Pam, where can they get this book? Can they get it on Amazon? Or can they?
They can get it on Amazon. It comes in hardcover, like a audible.com,
awesome.
where I narrated it. And then there's an ebook version, so people who like Kindle or Kobos and that kind of thing can read it there as well.
Yeah,
so.
I love it. So pick it up, guys. It's an awesome book. So let's jump back into this live. So Pam, I'd love for you to share with everyone just about, I know that we had talked about some, specific stuff you wanted to share with these guys. So why don't you kind of just jam into that, and we'll kind of go back and forth on this live, talking about the business.
Sure. So I think most importantly, just so that everyone understands what a pyramid scheme is and what network marketing is, because they're completely different things. A pyramid scheme is obviously illegal, and sometimes well-meaning people, when you share your business opportunity, they'll say, oh, is it one of those pyramid schemes? But they don't mean it as a negative. They just think that that's what it is, and that's what you do. And so I used to train people, to say, what is that? And I still think that that's a good thing, because sometimes people just don't get it. They're not trying to be confrontational. They're just really not sure. And so everyone recognizes that a pyramid scheme, there's no real viable product or service attached. It's really just all about recruiting and getting paid to recruit. And we can look at tons of examples. I give a really easy example. So let's say you have this widget that's really worth nothing, and the whole thing that you're selling is the business opportunity that allows people to sell this widget that would never survive if there wasn't a compensation plan attached. So that's essentially an illegal pyramid scheme throughout North America, most parts of Europe, Australia, and New Zealand. There's a lot of different laws, but essentially it boils down to that. Network marketing, on the other hand, is a legitimate business model where you're paid not only on your sales, but on the sales of your team, depending on how the compensation plan is set up. So it's all different, right? There's all different ways to do that. But it also has a product or service that even if there was no compensation plan attached, it would absolutely have a viable market share. It would be something that people would buy regardless. And you can tell that based on the fact that in legitimate companies, 80 to 85% of the people who are purchasing or using the service are customers. They have no interest in the business model. They're not in it for the business model. They are simply there because they love the product, and they maybe buy a membership or something to get wholesale discounts on that product or service. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Which
Okay.
is so true. I mean, I think about like the My Business, right? I mean, My Business, 85% of all of our volume that my husband and our amazing team, like we all do together, everyone, like 85% of that is all customer volume. All of it.
Totally. Absolutely. And here's the thing where the critics really, they're not very good at math, because they say, only 5% of people make money at network marketing, or only 1% of people earn over, $100,000 or whatever. So let's take a look at that. If we get 100 people started and 85 of them have no interest in the business whatsoever, they're like, I don't know what it is. I don't want to know what it is. I just buy this stuff because I really like it. So now we're down to 15 people out of 100 that say, yeah, you know what? I'm kind of into that. I think if anyone were to take an honest look at their business, out of those 15, 10 to 12 of those people are kind of in the business, but they're sort of doing it when it's convenient. They're not really that committed. They might make some money to pay for their products, and they're super happy with that. And nobody's criticizing that, because maybe they're not looking for a full-time gig. Maybe they're not looking to invest the time and energy to build a successful business to what it takes. So that's cool too. So now we're left with 3 to 5 people out of 100 who are saying, you know what, I'm going for it. I want to try it. Let's say you take that same number and use lawyers for an example, because that's my frame of reference. Out of those lawyers, how many make over $100,000 a year? There's a very small number. You may think that it's larger, but it's a very small number. And it's the same with really any business model you look at. To have that multiple 6- and 7-figure income success, there's a small number in any profession that achieves that. Network marketing is not unique in that. We're pretty average when it comes to that. The difference, I think, that people get hung up on, and that the critics don't take a look at, is to get started in network marketing, you don't need a business degree. You don't need a law degree. You don't need to have a certain amount of training. You don't need to have different letters behind your name or any sales training at all. There's no bar keeping people from pursuing a network marketing career. And because of that, we have people who have all sorts of different success stories. And the critics really like to focus in on those people who stand up with a microphone and get all hypey and all crazy and talk about they lived in a van down by the river, they met 2 people, told them about some products, and now they make $1 million a year.
All right. And
those are the people. And they drive a Lamborghini, and they strategically post a Louis Vuitton bag that they're pretending they're not interested in showing, but is somehow in the camera frame at all times. So,
Product
those are the people. That's right. And that's who the critics, they are not focusing on the moms out there who are busting their butt on their side hustle when they put their kids to bed or when their kids are in school or they're talking to other moms and they're showing up to events for their company and they're following the strategies that their leaders talk about and they're putting time in. And, that's not the ones they're talking to. They're talking to the ones that get, hypey and crazy about stuff. And fortunately, I see a real shift happening in our industry that, people are getting away from that. Those are not the people that are enjoying the big success anymore. I think it's the authentic, honest, unfiltered people who are really transparent about what it takes to build a successful network marketing business.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I mean, I think about, I like so many conversations, right, that you and I have. I mean, with people inside of our organizations and people that are, in different companies, what have you. But the reality is that, people are really looking for a better quality of life, right? And they're tired of the hype. They're tired of the smoke and mirrors. They're just like, hey, I just want to make an extra $500 a month, right?
Totally.
That's all I want. I mean,
exactly.
I remember Ray Higdon had shared with us. He's like, guys, there's like 750,000 Uber drivers, right, that are out there, and they make an average of $250 a month. Like, that's to pay for diapers or pay part of daycare or pay off, pay down a credit card debt or whatever may be, right? And so we have, I think we're doing a much better job now as a profession of focusing in on, hey guys, like, we need to be able to relate to the masses because that's really what they're looking for, right? They're not looking for, like you said, the, 6 figures, 7 figures. Like, would that be great? Yes. But for a lot of them, they're doing this in the midst of their careers and parenting and, you know what I mean? Life and, especially if you're a mom, you're spinning 50 plates, right? So, I just think that we've done a really good job of shifting that. And I think that's just why there are so many people now that are on board, but also coming on board in our profession is because they love that, they get excited about, hey, if I can share a couple products, make a couple bucks, get my products for free, my life, this is great. I'm having fun,
and the personal growth.
Yeah, exactly.
That's attached. There's not a lot of side hustles where personal growth and development is really so huge. It's the foundation of everything. I went to a gal to get my nails done a few weeks ago, and she started this eyebrow thing, not the microblading tattoo thing, which I would be terrified to tattoo my face, but I think it all looks beautiful on other people, but I don't want to be that gal in the old age home that has the green eyebrows when I'm 103, but anyway, that's just me. So she does this whole plucking thing with some eyebrows, and she's talked to me about it, but it sounds kind of painful, so I haven't gone long. But she said the reason she's so passionate about this whole eyebrow thing, because this woman who's teaching her, she did this online course, and they're doing personal growth and development, and she's never had any personal growth and development. So she gives me these quotes, and things, and we've all heard them probably a million times, but to her, it's phenomenal. And I'm thinking, what a brilliant, that's so brilliant, because when people start believing in themselves and people start feeling like they're part of a community, which network marketing has been doing for so long, ever since I've been involved anyway, which is almost a decade now, it's so huge. And for people to get that belief and to be told that they deserve to have more, that they're capable of more, and that there are people cheering them on, whether or not they ever make a dime, that is priceless. That is worth more. I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars getting an MBA, a law degree, and undergraduate degree, and nobody ever told me that I deserved success or that I had what it took. No one. And I was paying them a lot of money. And I come into a business model where people are congratulating you for what seems like the smallest things, but they're really big things when you look at it. And that to me is, what a gift. I can't imagine not having that now. It seems to be so much part of my life, but before that was never. We cut people down. That's what we do.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so I have a question that I want to ask you. So with your background and where you came from, what do you think is the biggest thing that once you dug around, once you did your research on the profession, what do you think the biggest thing what surprised you the most?
The
where
thing
you're
that
like,
surprised,
dang, like I had no idea.
well, I had no, about network marketing in
Yeah,
general.
yeah. Because
Yeah,
obviously you were doing
I
your
think
homework, right? Before you got in, before, you know what I
totally,
mean?
totally. I think for me is that honestly meeting people that and seeing them that really didn't bring, coming from my background, a ton of experience with them around business and being able to lead huge organizations. I was shocked by that. I was really surprised that that everyday people like, stay-at-home parents and coaches, like from sporting coaches and teachers, et cetera, were able to have these incredible businesses and get the skill set to manage a business without ever having to attend, university or college to do that. To me, that was a big aha moment. And I think after being involved for a little bit, seeing how much company owners care about their teams and about their people was really surprising. It didn't seem normal to me that these huge businesses, multi-million dollar, billion dollar companies, where the company owners show up at events and like hang out with people and get to meet them and see them, and or big leaders, the people that you would see on stage are just sitting around talking to people. Like it, for me, to see judges and doing those kinds of acting like that with people would be so strange. But in network marketing, everyone, whether you're the brand new person who's on day one or you're the top income earner in the, have that connection and that common goal. And to me, that's like democracy at its finest when you see that. And I'm not surprised by that anymore because I've been around for a while. But to me, that was a big aha moment for sure.
So with your background, right, you're kind of a facts girl. And I know that there's other
Yeah.
people that are in the business are a lot of that same personality. Okay. So I want to kind of shift for a second. I'm just kind of like going off the
Yeah.
cuff. So there might be a couple of those guys watching right now, right? So they're loving this live. They're eating it
Yeah.
up. They're like, oh my God, she's my girl. Like we're connected, right? So, but maybe they're not like jamming like you're jamming,
Yeah.
right? And so,
Yeah.
what would be a couple
Totally.
of things that you would tell them that you wish that maybe you did in the beginning that you didn't do, maybe because of you wanted to figure everything out, because you wanted to have all the, are there some, tips or things that, you can maybe give them to really get them moving, right? Because I think that it just sometimes
Yeah.
like I meet people, right? Like I have people in my business that are attorneys as well, right? And for a while, like I love them when we get along great, but I will tell you in the beginning, I was kind of like, listen, I feel like I
I
want to
know.
strangle you right now. Like
Oh,
we got to
totally.
do go, but they want to,
I
they
know.
got to figure it out loud, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
So what would so for me, I'm kind of like, I would love some advice or some tips on either A, if you are bringing someone in the business like you, or or the second part of that question would be if they are you, what tip would you give them to really get moving?
I think the number one thing, and this really relates back to your other question, is that it really is that simple, but it's not easy. And I thought because it was so simple that there must be some catch or there must be something that people were hiding from me. But there wasn't. The business truly is as simple as following what your team leader tells you to do as far as, how your business plan works. Following those steps, which is usually enjoying the product or service and being an authentic user of that product or service, someone who's legitimately a fan, because I don't think you should ever partner with a company if you're not a true fan of whatever that product or service is. Makes no sense. Like, how do you tell other people about that?
Yeah.
The second thing is that it's really takes time and effort, and to get caught up in trying to analyze all of the numbers. Like I remember trying to figure out percentages, like, well, if this person gets this percentage, how much does the company pay to this person? And how does all of this work? And I'm trying to do this math in my brain with, figuring out all of the equations, which makes no sense to spend any amount of time on that. I think getting crystal clear on what you get paid to do and doing that, if you're looking at this from a business perspective, is all you need to focus on. And of course, the big part of that is helping other people enjoy your product or service and providing exceptional customer service. That's really what we get paid to do. We get paid to help people enjoy our product or service and provide them with excellent guidance and customer service. And if you're passionate about people and want to work with people, you're going to enjoy success as much as, you know, the effort and time you put into this business. If you're in it just because you think you're going to make X amount of dollars because you saw so-and-so making X amount of dollars, I haven't met anyone who's been successful with that strategy, that it's all about money and all about how much can I make. I don't know about you, Sarah. You've been around and you've met lots of people, but those people may enjoy success in the short term, but long term, I just haven't seen it.
Yeah, I mean, they're in and then they're out, right?
They're in and they're out, and you get to see that. And you I think when you base your business on whatever your values are. So I think for you and I, one of the values we share is family, which is what makes this business so attractive, is that, yeah, we have to work hard, and sometimes we travel, and sometimes we're doing, you know, I don't really consider this part work because it's kind of hanging out, but technically we're working right now, but we're doing it around our family life. You know, we wouldn't have scheduled a call that interfered with one of our children's school plays or sporting events. But in my old life, I couldn't schedule cases around my son's school life or sporting events. It didn't work that way. So recognizing that there is a freedom in this business, but there's also a cost. You have to invest time and effort, and you have to want to help people in order to enjoy success. And if you base all of that on your values, what's important to you, and be authentic about that, because, you know, there's lots of things that, you know, if you and I maybe build our businesses a little bit differently or do things a bit differently, it doesn't make them wrong or right. It just means that we have to be true to who we are in order to make things work.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I love that. A lot of people are asking that, they're so excited to read your book. It's so cool. Everyone's like, I need to get that book. I need to get that book. So before we wrap up, I mean, obviously there's so much that we could talk about inside of your book, and I know that you've, you know, done quite a bit of training on this. I mean, what would be a couple of things that you'd like to maybe share before we wrap it up with everybody, that maybe it's somebody that's digging around looking at the business right now, I guess really is kind of where my heart would be for you to kind of share, would be, you know, that person taking a serious look.
Yeah, I think what I recommend for people is, okay, what is it that you're most interested in? What is it that you're looking for? So obviously people are going to do a business because they want to earn an income. So you have to be really honest about what that income is going to look like for you, what the amount of time is that you're prepared to invest in your business, and get really clear, crystal clear on that, and have a candid conversation with the person who's introducing you to the business and products, and just say, you know what, when I first started, I was working over 60 hours a week as a lawyer. So when I thought I would have to dedicate hours and hours and hours to another business, I wasn't interested at all. It wasn't until I learned that I could, as long as I was consistent and I was continuing to put one foot in front of the other, I didn't have to run. I could simply dedicate the amount of time that I had around my job, around my family, and enjoy success if I followed the steps that were laid out in front. That's what I had to do. So that's what I did. And the other thing is recognizing that this business isn't all glamour, fun set. You know, when you see those pictures of people and they've got their laptop on the beach and they're saying that they're working. First of all, I never bring my laptop to the beach. It's very dangerous. There's a lot of sand that can get in there. It makes no sense to me to do that. Secondly, if I'm at the beach, I want to enjoy the friggin' beach. I don't want to be, you know, at someone else's beck and call. So I schedule work time and I schedule fun time. So, and I think where I'm going with this is that, you know, really be open and authentic about what it is that you're looking for and what it was that attracted you. If you're just attracted because someone's on Facebook posting a bunch of purse pictures and all these trips, and they act as though they don't actually work, they just flutter around, like, if it sounds too good to be true and it seems too easy to actually happen, it likely is. And for people that are legitimately looking to build a business and to have a legacy and to have a foundation, a financial security that they can rely on, that takes some work. And you got to be prepared for that. If you think that it's anything other, buy a lottery ticket. You know, that's probably more what you should be looking for. And you probably have the same amount of success.
Right. I've never won anything. Have you ever won anything before?
No, I don't. I did. I won a pair of mitts. I won a pair of mitts at an avalanche training thing we went to, and my son, my husband, and myself all put my name in the draw. I don't know why. So I won 2 things. It looked like I was a total fraudster because they pulled my name out twice. But anyway, I won some mitts. But yes, no, I don't win.
No, I've earned it all. I've earned it all.
Yeah. That something for nothing mentality does not coincide with network marketing. It's totally 2 different paths.
Exactly. Well, guys, I don't know about you guys, but I got a lot of great stuff out of there. Some really good nuggets. I encourage you guys to share this out or tag some people that are that need to see this video. But, you know, Pam, I just want to thank you so much, first and foremost, for being my friend. You and Kevin are such a bright light in Tony and I in our life, and just lifters for us big time, but also just great lifters in the profession as well. And so just, you know, thank you for you. And thanks for spending time with me tonight. And I know I'm getting some messages already. People are like, oh my gosh, she was so great. So, but again, you know, thanks so much for being on. And, you know, I look forward to hanging out with you soon. We got to get together in person next time.
I know. For sure. And maybe bring the guys on next time, because men in our business are incredible as well. And working as couples, you know, that's a lot of fun as well. So thank you to you and Tony. Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I'd be a little nervous on what they'd say on there, but.
This is true. Well, there's a 3-second delay, so we could press a button or something maybe to mute it out.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, I love you. Have a great night, guys. Thanks for jumping on.
You too.
Again, Pam. All right. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care.